Thanks for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified of each new video as it comes out. Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. And today we are going to talk about sex within prepper groups. But before we get started on that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick way that you can save some money. And that is through purchasing some door armor to increase the security of your home from Armor Concepts. So Armor Concepts is a company that sells varying different kinds of kits that will fit on your doors that will make them very difficult to get kicked in, or to, even with a battering ram or anything like that. I think they estimate that, or a study showed or something, that like 85% of break-ins come through doors. And if you want to increase the strength of your doors to keep them from being able to be broken through easily, using the door armor from Armor Concepts is a great way to do that. I have a video showing where I installed some on my home, and you guys can check that out if you'd like. It's really good stuff, and it's really easy to install, and it really increases the security of your home. If you use the discount code AFReality15, then you will get 15% off. And usually this time of year they do some pretty good sales for Black Friday and all that kind of stuff too. And this is a great gift for family members and friends and all that kind of stuff as well, since we've got Christmas time coming up and all that. So anyway, I highly suggest you guys check that out. I'll put a link in the description below that you can use to get over there and check it out. So anyway, today with sex within prepper groups, I've got 10 questions or 10 things that I think it might be beneficial for you guys to talk with your group members about. And let's give a little context to this discussion here before we get too far into it. What I'm talking about is let's say stuff's gone bad. Whatever the cause may be. I don't know, civil war, civil unrest. I mean, it looks more and more like there could be some of that, coming along. Maybe it's just power grid failure, cyber attacks, EMPs, who knows what. But you have decided that you're going to recall your group and all your friends and family and everything to your house, and you guys are going to try to ride out the storm there and deal with whatever comes up, right? That would be my plan. Folks come in here and we'll do what we got to do. In those situations, when you're putting a lot of people in tight quarters, and you've got varying different kinds of relationships. You have some relationships who are very solid and good and all that kind of stuff. You've got other people who are single. You got other people who are looking for relationships. You've got younger kids and teenagers who are just trying to figure out what sex is and all this kind of stuff. You might want to have some discussions about what do we do if, and that's kind of what this video is about. Like the first question I have on here is, how are you going to deal with birth control? Well, birth control pills may not be an option anymore if that is something that had been previously used. There's also, the injections and stuff that people can get and whatnot, but if society is failing, those things might not be available. Maybe you can stock up on condoms and those kinds of things, but I think it's just worth having that discussion, and do you want to use birth control during that time frame? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. It all depends. So I think that's a good starting point question there. The second one that I had on the list, and it kind of flows in with this whole topic really, is pregnancy pros and cons. On the pro side, the good thing about having babies after a lot of people in society have died is that you're helping to replenish the population. You're also probably going to be coming into a time when having a labor force is handy. So it might be a good idea to try to get pregnant as opposed to try not to. The downsides are the obvious medical risks associated with pregnancy, not having a doctor or hospital readily available and all that kind of stuff. But it's something to think about. It might also be something to think about with regard to learning how to deliver a baby, taking some classes, doing that kind of stuff, making sure that you have whatever is needed for that to happen, hot blankets or, towels and whatever. I don't know. I've seen some child's delivered, but I've never done it. Okay, let's see here. Number 3 question I had on here was group rules about when and where can you have sex in the house or on the bug out location or whatever the case may be. You're sharing space, you're in tight quarters. Are you going to work out a schedule, or, is it just going to be like getting it on whenever you need to get it on? That could be awkward if you got family members and stuff like that, and you got kids around. And are you just going to say no sex? Because that's a surefire way to get people really angry and not in a great mood. So, it seems a little. It's kind of awkward to talk about and all that kind of stuff, but this is a reality of life, and it's a reality of life after SHTF as well. So having some discussions ahead of time might be a good idea. Number 4 I had on my list here is, discussing sanitation and the risks of, urinary tract infections and sexually transmitted diseases, those kinds of things. Do you have medicines to be able to treat those? And the reason I say that is because you're not going to be bathing as frequently and all that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe you don't even want to have sex because it might be like, whew, not today. Maybe you schedule the sexy time after you've had your showers and baths for the week or month or however you're doing it. I don't really know. I'm not here to provide answers to these questions. I'm really just providing the questions. So number 5 on the list is, how do you deal with pornography use, possession, making of it, etc.? Because if there are still electronic devices and all that kind of stuff, pornography is probably still going to be around. You might have some old school guys in the group. They may have some old Playboy magazines and stuff. Is that okay? Is it not okay? You're going to have to figure that stuff out. Number 6, how do you deal with single group members? Is it okay for the single Marine that joined your group to be hitting on your daughters or your nieces or whatever the case may be? Are you going to allow dating and stuff? Are you going to encourage it? Are you going to say you have to be, you can court and then you have to marry, or you going to go an old school route? What are you going to do? How's that going to be dealt with? Okay, and the number 7 there is, how do you deal with adultery? That's a sticky situation. You got a couple of different couples, and they come together, and the wife from one and the husband from another couple, they're like, hey, we really kind of like each other. How do you deal with that? What is there going to be punishment? Are you going to kick out both of those members and leave the rest of the families? What are you going to do? It's hard. These are hard questions, They're not only awkward to talk about, but they're actually difficult to deal with when the situation arises as well. So, let's see here. Yeah, that was 7 was adultery. 8 is how to deal with teens, tweens, masturbation, experimentation, etc. If you've got young kids or teenagers or tweenagers in the group, they're just starting to learn about their bodies, and they're gonna start touching stuff when they're not supposed to, and whatever. And what are you gonna do about that? And how are you gonna teach them? Where is that appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Where can they do it? Where they can't do it? Again, just a thought. Let's see here. Number 9, how do you deal with sexual assault or rape from people within the group or people outside of the group? Have you clearly defined, this is kind of the follow-up to that, you might want to clearly define the difference between sexual harassment, sexual assault, and then rape. Because they're kind of 3 different things in my mind, although recently the things that kind of have been blurred a little bit more. The way that definitions have changed in the years past and stuff, it's gotten a little bit more murky, but you may want to make it clear in your group. Does sexual harassment, probably doesn't qualify as something that, you should get shot for. Whereas rape might actually qualify on that, so it's really kind of up to your group and what you're going to do with that. But it's a good discussion item. Number 10 is how will the group deal with atypical sexual situations such as homosexuality, polyamory, prostitution, whatever the case may be, and you just have to decide what's okay for your group and what's not okay, I guess. But if you don't think that those things will happen, you're probably sadly mistaken. And especially with prostitution, and not just females and men, like of any particular combination, trading sex for money and goods and all that kind of stuff in broken economies is super, super common. So what are you going to do about that? So anyway, I haven't really provided any answers because ultimately this all rests on the values, morals, of the group, of the jury in, and maybe your faith plays into it and your religion and all those kinds of things. So I can't even begin to tell you guys what the best things is, but I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to just bring this up for discussion so that you can talk with your folks, about this and come up with some ground rules so that when things do happen, and they will happen, you'll be able to deal with them a little bit better as opposed to having the shotgun reaction and all that kind of stuff. Maybe kind of figure a few things out ahead of time. So anyway, I hope that's been useful. I have been switching all of my videos over to gunstreamer.com, and it's a pretty cool site. If you guys haven't checked out Gunstreamer, I suggest that you do so. As the name suggests, they are very pro-Second Amendment. They allow the videos to be shared. They are good quality videos. They seem to stream pretty well. They've got apps for the iOS, Apple devices, as well as the Android devices, so you can get it on your phone too. Lots and lots of content producers over there already. I think they've been around for a while, but it seems like the site is really kind of picking up, to me. And they have started importing all my videos from YouTube over to there, so I will have a site over there, and my goal is to transition completely away from YouTube, because what they're doing with all their stuff is just not tolerable. I really want to try to get off of the platform altogether if I can. The cool part about Gunstreamer is they also have a contribute option where the viewers can contribute to content producers that they like, and that 10% of that goes to the platform as a whole to help support the platform, and 90% of it I think goes to the creator. At least that's my understanding. And so I think that's pretty cool too. And it just seems like a little better platform than Patreon. Patreon's done, they have a lot of free speech issues and stuff. They banned Jordan Peterson and some other folks from the intellectual dark web. And I'm just not a fan of Patreon or YouTube or any of those guys. So, and it's a completely voluntary thing. You can choose to do it or choose not to do it, So either way, you'll still get to see the content. So definitely check that out. All right, guys, as always, definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you subscribe, and when you share it on social media. Have a great day, and we'll see you on another video here shortly.